Hello and welcome to bodygraph.com video tutorials, and this in particular is about bodygraphs and Notion connection. Now, Notion is popular to store the data and to track, create boards, maybe track statistics from the data that you're collecting, or even just to collect the data and store as an extra safe copy just in case your newsletter app connection or storage fails. So without further ado, let's go and have a look into the steps that need to be taken to make sure that Notion is connected to the Bodygraph. Okay, so first thing is preparation, and the way I like to prepare is of course to open tab with both platforms that I'm making connections between and log in into my platforms. So therefore I have one tab where I logged in into my testing Bodygraph account, and the next tab is where I logged in into my Notion. Now bear in mind that I already created a workspace here specifically for this tutorial. If you need assistance of how to create a workspace, please navigate to Notion's guides and create a workspace specifically for this project and this connection. Or you can, if you have one like a centralized workspace, of course you can create a new page where the subscribers will land within that workspace. Now, third tab also could be really helpful. So for that, you can navigate to Help Center. And in this particular tutorial, we're talking about Notion. So you can go to Data Storage Apps and specifically open Notion step-by-step guide. And just keep an eye on the steps here, just in case you get lost in the process and you can need to double check the steps and if the connection actually is completed fully. So let's begin with the connection from the Bodygraph side. For that, we need to navigate to App Integrations, click Create New, Data Storage tab, select Notion and click Save. Now, I do recommend to name it the app that is matching your embed code title, so you know exactly where the app is integrated and which integration it serves. That's especially applicable if you have multiple embed codes, for example separating human design and astrology, and you want to separate incoming subscribers as well to the Notion tables into separate tables. So therefore the name is just for your reference, no one else will see it. Ideally should match the embed code, so know exactly which connection serves which integration. But for this tutorial I have no any specific requirements, so I will enter just an app name as a name. And now as you can see, we need to get an API key. So this is the time to go to Notions tab. And this is where I have already workspace created, but I need to create a page, or I want to create a page where the subscribers and data will land. So you can either click this little plus icon or this drop down and click page and then name the page. Of course, something that is going to be easy for you to recognize. That is Bodygraph subscribers that are stored on that page. So now when its page is created, we need to navigate and hover over these three little dots, click on it and go to Connections and Develop Integration. Now new tabs will open. We will click New Integration. We will give it a name. Again, I'm naming it something that is very obvious for me to recognize. Then associated workspace, so I will select the workspace that I already created. Type remains internal and click Save. Now when it's saved, we need to click on Configure Integration Settings, and this is where we will be able to collect the secret key. So we can click Show and copy that key and come back to the Bodygraph and paste it into the API key field and click Save. But we cannot stop here. Connection is far from completed, so we need to come back to Notion's page, and on the same page again click on these three little dots, connections, and we need to usually it comes up immediately, that connection that you just created, Bodygraph. You can search it, but we need to link it and confirm that this page is linked to that integration. Now, when this one is done, we're kind of done on the Notion, and we will come back just to see if the subscriber is coming through. Now, there are some of the settings to complete at the Bodygraph. So we will go back to the Bodygraph. We'll test the connection to see if the API key is recognized and is successful. If it says it's successful, then we can progress with editing details. And this is where we select the page. You will recognize it by name. Now you can create a database name. Again, that could be specific name matching your subscribers or anything that you like. And then I select any custom fields or additional data that I want to collect alongside the name and an email. So for instance, I will say I want date of birth. I need maybe a chart, a link of the client, type, profile, place of birth. And let's just say I'm happy with this data selection and click save. Now, app is connected. You will notice that app indicator still shows red. That means it's not yet completed. This does not show the success of the app connection between the Bodygraph and Notion. It shows whether it is active or inactive on your embed code, and therefore we need to proceed with enabling the app connection at one of your embed codes. To do so, you would need to navigate to embed chart, and now make sure that you open embed code exactly the one that you're using at the website and you want to make a connection with. I have loads of here just because of the testing purposes, so I open one for that purpose, and I enable the Notion app connection. Now bear in mind that Notion app connection or any other app connection will work only if your design, in my case named website builder, has the email field enabled. To double check that, you can go specifically to chart design, open that specific design that is assigned to your embed code, submission forms, and go to settings to double check if the email field is enabled. Now, in my case, it's already enabled. Therefore, that means that I can proceed and run a test chart. Now, to run the test chart, there are two ways how to do it. Of course, you can go into embed code if it's not yet embedded and you're just connecting the dots before you're actually embedding it, and go to the preview mode. Or you can go into your website where already the embed code is embedded. In my case, for example, website builder, and it's always the best to test it straight from the integration. So sometimes the website settings can interfere into the process, so best is to test it from the final client's perspective, and just to submit the form and see if the data will arrive to Notion. So fill the form, enter the details, and memorize the email address that you are testing it with, and generate the chart. Oh, I entered the wrong details. And generate the chart. Oh, my one, I did something with integration, so I will come back to Notion anyway, see if that came through. I'm just going to refresh it. Okay, so with the little delay, I see that new table is created. I open it and I see that my subscription came through, and as you can see, the email was captured. And that is a very perfect example. Of course, I do a lot of testing, so I probably messed up something at my website, but this is perfect example just to see and test it from the final client's perspective. So now I know that, of course, I did probably some testings and made a different selection of the settings, and I need to go and fix it. So that's why the best way to test it from the website. But also you can come to your preview, as I said, and run chart from this side. Now here I submitted a preview form with something different, a different email, just to see if that also will arrive to Notion, and click the preview to open the chart. Okay, so when the chart is generated again, I can come back to Notion and see that with a couple of seconds delay, but another test email and the data arrived successfully to Notion, which confirms that connection is complete, and that means that I can right now collect the data from Bodygraph integration. Now you definitely can connect multiple Notion connections at the app integration if you need to do so. The reasons, as I said, could be maybe you want to separate into different pages incoming subscribers from the different embed codes. Maybe you want to have separate relationships, or you want to set up the different for astrology and human design. Therefore, you can connect different Notion connections here and enable those apps at the relevant embed codes, just to separate the data at Notion and build different boards over there depending on where the data came from. Now, coming through troubleshooting is, of course, not completing Notion connection fully. So usually clients paste this one, the app closed, and they forget, or just skip the steps to actually proceed with connecting it fully, selecting the page and data that's supposed to arrive. So please make sure that tutorial is fully followed and all the steps fully followed for Notion connection to be completed. Now, another very common missing step is that clients forget to enable app integration at the embed code. And third, probably actually most common, is that app connection does not work because clients do forget to enable email field at the submission form, which is very important. Also, less common mistakes with a Notion or any other app connection is incorrectly gathered API key, or sometimes clients copying and pasting Bodygraph's API key. That is obviously incorrect. If you're connecting the third-party app, you need to collect that app API key and paste it here. And of course, following step-by-step guide at the help center will help to understand exactly where the API key and information is coming from to make the successful connection between Bodygraph and Notion. Now, I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget that if you have additional questions, you can always reach out via live chat or via support@bodygraph.com email, and we will be more than happy to help. So best of luck connecting Notion to the Bodygraph, and I will see you in the next videos.